people, this is Will from nextlevelguitar.com. David's running the camera, clicking a pen, trying to throw me off my game.
Trying to distract him.
Trying to distract me. And Sammy's still sleeping. It's been a tough day for Sammy.
It's hard being a dog.
It's hard being a dog. It's hard having to listen to me play music all day long, which poor Sammy's had to do. But today we're showing you one of my amps. This is just the head. It's a Sears Twin 12 head. It's a all tube, about 50 watt head, and it's Sears. It was made by Dan Electro for Sears, made in the United States. It's a mid-60s model, and it's a budget amp. The construction of it compared to a mid-60s Fender is much lighter duty. It's a press board material. The Tolex is pretty thin, skinny little handle here. Definitely something you got to be careful playing, but the essentials are there. The thing sounds bitchin', and it's just a great little amp. And these are a great bargain too in the vintage market. You can still find the I think I picked this head up for $100. You can find the head in a 212 cabinet which has two Jensens in it, which are really nice speakers, for probably $300 to $400 if you look. So there's some great deals out there in vintage music, and be sure and check it out. The great thing about this amp is that as you turn it up, you get that nice crunch, that nice tube distortion at pretty reasonable volume levels. So it's not like a big Marshall stack where you have to really crank it up and piss everybody off to get it to sound decent. You can have this sounding nice at pretty reasonable volumes. We got two channels, channel 1 and channel 2. And then we have our really crappy little spring reverb, which I'll play for you later just so you can hear how bad it is. And we have the Tremolo, which sounds pretty good. And there's the Footswitch Jack. These amps did come with a tiny little foot switch that was made out of this same material, this press board. And one of my buddies has one actually, and it's pretty funny looking. It looks very flimsy, and if you stomped on it good, it would just disintegrate. I'm playing through a matchless cab here that David so kindly lent me. It's a 212. It sounds incredible. And I'm playing his mid-90s Les Paul Standard limited edition. It even says limited edition on it. And I think when David's not looking, this is going with me, and I'm going to sneak it in my trunk and take it home because I like this guitar. Now we're going to take a close-up look at the control panel of this amp. Starting over here, we have this amp has two channels, and each channel has volume, bass, and treble, and two inputs. And then again, volume, bass, and treble, and the two inputs. And then over here, you have your tremolo and your reverb knobs. You get your reverb here, depth, and it's really horrible sounding reverb. It's one spring, and it's maybe I don't know, 6 inches long or something, 8 inches long, and it's a horrible sounding reverb. And you get the tremolo here, which is pretty decent sounding. And foot switch, on off, standby, and ground switch. And you can kind of see the budget materials used building this amp. It's kind of light duty. You know, the handle's kind of small, thin, and flimsy. It's kind of it's made with press board, not a solid piece of wood. So, you know, probably something you wouldn't want to tour with, but definitely a great sounding amp. Nonetheless. Here's a shot of the back of the amp. Now this amp's had some work done to it, and it's not completely stock. So those of you that really know these amps are probably going to see some stuff that it doesn't look original. But you know, it's an open back again, showing the cheapness or the you know, the budget that it was built under. You can see the press board. You get transformers. You got your power tubes. This amp puts out, I think, about 50 watts. Another transformer. You got your preamp tubes. You got the tiny little single spring reverb pan here. If you think about it, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the reverb pan in a Fender, which is, you know, probably about that big and has probably, what do you think, David? 3 springs? 4 springs?
Or a big reverb.
5 springs? I don't know.
Or a big reverb tank.
Big reverb tank, yes. Going down here to the chassis, you have another power outlet. You have some kind of speaker, something to change the ohms on the speakers that somebody added. a fuse. You got the model 1484, Sears and Roebuck, and a little serial number plate. And again, being a budget amp, the material used for the chassis is a little thinner and flimsier than you'd see on a Fender of the period. Okay, I'm going to go through some of the sounds of the amp. We're going to start off with the amp up a little bit, breaking up, getting a nice crunchy sound out of it. And then we'll go to a cleaner sound, and then I'll show you the crappy reverb, and we'll check out the tremolo. You can hear from that with the amp on 2 and playing with a nice Les Paul through the lead pickup. I can get a nice, crunchy, distorted sound at a relatively low volume. We're going to check out some of the clean tones of the amp. We've turned it down a little bit, and I've switched in the middle position here to get the 2 pickups. Alright, now I'm going to show you the crappy reverb on this amp. We're going to turn it on here. David, what's that sound?
What is that? Crickets mating? Whoa,
Yeah.
man!
That's a keeper. Now we'll go to the tremolo. Kind of noisy, but it has a nice depth to it. Well, you can tell that the reverb and tremolo aren't the greatest, but tremolo's not too bad. But still, for the price, you really can't beat these Silvertone amps for bang for the buck for a nice vintage tube amp that breaks up at a low volume, and just a great all-around amp. Thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this segment on the Sears Silvertone Twin 12. I keep stumbling over that, and David's laughing at me. But Twin 12. But thanks a lot for joining us, and I hope you enjoy this, and make sure you subscribe if you enjoy this, and check out the website, nextlevelguitar.com. Lots of great lessons on there, and we're going to have a lot more reviews of amps and guitars, and maybe some effects. David, do you think we're going to get to some effects?
I hope so.
I hope so too, because I'm getting tired of carrying them around. But anyways, we'll see you guys soon, and thanks for joining us.